brothers and sisters, thank you guys for joining us on this Thursday afternoon on the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we talk about all things movies, movie news, and other screen-related topics. I am, of course, your humble host, Keith Toothman, and I am joined by an equally as humble and awesomely and equally as handsome,
thank you,
Trevor Farney.
I am both very humble and extraordinarily handsome.
Yeah, it's like extraordinary. It's hard to sit across from you, man.
Yeah, I know. I look at myself in the mirror and I just start.
We don't even turn these lights on for you. They follow you around. Yeah. We don't need to light your area, which is always great. Saves electricity here in the studio.
Exactly.
But anyways, he's here. He's back. And we're here. We're back. And we're going to talk about some movies and movie news, of course, as always, as usual. Lots of things DC we talked about yesterday. The whole show was it was all just the James Gunn stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, some stuff about that today, but mainly going to try to talk about some of the stuff that we haven't gotten to because we've been so focused on this DC announcement. But before we do that, I want to quickly get out of the way that we do have an Xbox Series S that we're giving away. We're trying to. We need to hit 20,000 subs, and we have actually been getting lots of subs lately, and we do appreciate all our new subscribers. And also, we do have a channel membership out, and if you have not checked that out, go check it out. We appreciate all the channel members that we currently have. It goes a long way to helping us continue to bring, the show to you and make it be better and improved. With that being said, also here in the coming days, we will have some big announcements for the channel, so stay tuned for those. And we will be hopefully within probably sometime next week having those announcements and big things going on for the channel. Super exciting, super excited, and we couldn't do it without all our viewers and people that tune in and watch all these things that we do. So thank you guys so much, and I can't wait for those announcements. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you guys are sending those super chats for your chance to win that Xbox, and then make sure you're checking out that channel membership. Again, we really appreciate it. Hit that thumbs up, that like button, and that subscribe. And I think with that down, we're going to go ahead and jump right into our first main topic today. And our first main topic today is this. So, Trevor, there's been this long debated question it's been going on ever since what was the original Superman that everyone loved,
like the original?
Yes. Yeah.
Just Superman.
No, the actor.
Oh, Christopher Reeves.
Yes, Christopher Reeves, right. Since about sometime after that, especially I remember it really being talked about a lot during the Man of Steel times when that was being made. But the question was, Trunks or no Trunks? That is the question. And and Trevor seems a little shocked, but James Gunn proposed this question on Twitter, and I want to go over and look at this at these results and see what people have to say. Let's see if I can get it to come up here. Here we go. And as you can see, the results are in. And as of right now, with almost 500,000 total votes, with me voting one myself, 59.3% of people say Trunks.
Yeah.
Give the Trunks to the Superman. Yeah. It's how, as I often say, from Ace Ventura, this is how we know him. We know him this way. When we were kids, we would often throw tighty-whitey underwear over whatever the hell we had, and that would make you a superhero. There's no other way, especially for the Superman. Now, I will say this. I have seen some iterations. There's a 2017 version of Superman that has like a red belt that kind of breaks up the blue that is very intriguing, and I would love to see. I think that could be done. But I think you go with the Trunks and you make it work somehow. You could try to make it more modern like they do in what's the Injustice games? They kind of make it this like it's built into the suit. It's not really, it's just a color difference. It's not really like the Trunks over it. I do want to mention, and I would be remiss if I didn't, that lots of the comments here in the comment section over on this question that he asked had lots of GIFs and pictures of what we really want in this question, which is yes, sure, why not? Let's bring Trunks in from Dragon Ball Z, and he can make this all work somehow. And I, just like many other people, when they heard Trunks, immediately first thought of Trunks, the person from Dragon Ball Z. And like here's even Stephen Colbert that's like, sure, why not? Trunks in a Superman movie? I would watch that fight. But yeah, so super interesting that I honestly am a little shocked that I was in the majority that people were saying Trunks. Like, I guess we are just, I've been talking a lot about tradition and old fashioned, and I guess at heart, it's just, we can't help it. But we're just traditional people and we're old fashioned people. And the truth is when we think of him, we think of them damn silly Trunks, man. So we want it to be true, be real, be what the character is. If that's what it is, that's what it is. So I'm glad that 60% damn near of people agree with me. Trevor, you've now seen these results. Where do you lie in this Trunks no Trunks debate? And B, are you surprised that the majority of people are saying Trunks?
Well, to be honest, I never ever thought about it until this very moment. In fact, I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't even really realize in Man of Steel.
Immediately Trunks from Dragon Ball Z.
Well,
You're like, shit, Trunks is gonna be in this.
Yeah, I was excited. I said,
Trunks or no Trunks? Are we even? Is this a question?
Yeah. But once I let that pass over me,
he's from the future.
That's the way to do it. You just bring him from the distant future. You explain it that Goku's in like a slightly further future.
No. Superman is Goku. So it's the same kind of story. Trunks is from a distant future, but he needs help because in the future, Superman dies. So he needs to, right? I mean, this could be a story. James Gunn, look, you owe us some money.
We were joking at first, but it's starting to be real, and I'm starting to get attached to this idea.
But really, Trunks or no Trunks?
I mean, when you first said it, my brain was immediately like, duh, Trunks, come on. Yeah. You don't do Superman without the Trunks. And then my brain was like, wait a minute. They didn't, and I didn't even realize it until now, but they didn't have Trunks in Man of Steel.
Nope.
At all.
That's why the debate's happening.
I understand. I didn't never even realize there was a debate or anything like that. But now I do. And now I'm kind of thinking about it, and I'm like, there's literally no purpose for that. There is no purpose for the red being there. There's none at all. Other than just need a splash of color. So I mean, I guess like on a purely aesthetic level, I don't care really.
I do want to quickly just show you at a glance. This is the 2017 version of Superman that I say, if you're going to do it, I think this works, but I still vote Trunks.
Yeah, if you're going to do it at all, dude, I guess you got to do Trunks.
Yeah.
But it's just, I guess, in the comics, it looks so cool. It looks great, but I just don't know.
What's it going to look like?
Yeah, right? Because, like, is it going to look...
It's that old Wolverine's yellow suit thing, you know?
Is it going to look like a dude wearing
yeah, right. Or is it going to look like a dude wearing a fucking banana suit, you know, in Wolverine's case? Because that's what it's going to look like. It works great in cartoon because yellow pops in a good way. Yeah. But on the big screen, I mean, when you think about it, like, think in your mind, you've seen thousands of movies.
Yeah.
I mean, how many bright yellow things, like characters, like the few that you know stand out, like Georgie, you know, and his yellow, you know, or stuff like that. There's very few though, like and Georgie isn't a main, right? It's a moment,
right? Exactly.
Right, and it contrasts well because they darken everything down and they do the red balloon,
right?
So those two things contrast well, but you'd be talking about yellow Wolverine in a 2-hour movie.
I couldn't do that,
but. I don't know, man. It works with Man of Steel, right? We didn't care.
Yeah,
we didn't care that they didn't have Trunks.
No.
So would we really care, I guess? No. Probably not.
Obviously not.
Yeah, obviously not, right? Because I love Man of Steel, right?
I love that. The more I watch it, the more I like it.
So, no, honestly, yeah, I would rather get Trunks from DBZ.
Yeah, just because I'd like to see it. I'd like to see.
But are you surprised to see that the majority of people say Trunks?
Not particularly, because Because people are very traditional. And my knee-jerk reaction was immediately, without question,
Is
Trunks.
this even a question?
Yeah.
Right, that's how I felt.
Because it's but you know, maybe upon thinking about it, I just don't care, you know. and more than that, it's kind of like I can see why you would do the no Trunks argument, because it's like there is no purpose practically for that. It's just, you know, it's just underwear for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, so there's no reason. And it's gonna be hard to make it look really cool on a person. So if they can, cool. You know, I'd love to see the classic Superman done.
I think they could do it. But guys, you guys are hearing this. Where are you at? Did you get on Twitter and vote for Trunks or no Trunks? Do you want Trunks from Dragon Ball Z more than you want to see Superman wear Super Trunks? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I want Trunks. All right, with that down, we are going to move into our second main topic today. And our second main topic today is this. So I don't often get the chance to rant around here the way I would like to, but today I'm going to give myself the opportunity. So I have this article that I want to pull up here. Possibly, let's do it. Yes. And this is from CBR that says, yes, Detective Pikachu 2 is still in active development. Let's read a little bit, because I don't want to read a ton of this. But it says, a sequel to Detective Pikachu is still on the horizon. As reported by Polygon, a representative from Legendary Entertainment told the outlet that Detective Pikachu 2 was still in, quote, active development. However, they could not disclose any information regarding the cast or crew. Previously, Detective Pikachu writers Benji Samit and Dan Hernandez revealed their potential involvement was still an ongoing conversation, but that they would love to work on a sequel. The original film star Justice Smith also expressed interest in returning to a sequel. So yeah, I want to use this moment for what I have for just to say, please don't. Let's not do this. Let's not waste a bunch of more money and ruin the world's most popular IP. I couldn't stand this movie when I first seen it. We all seen it in theaters. There was a group of literally 10 of us, and we all seen it in theaters. And moments into the movie, I was ready to leave. Sadly, I had ridden there with a group of people, so I had to suffer through it. I will say this, as always, it looks beautiful. It looks amazing. Me and Trevor actually watched it not that long ago again, and this time we could kind of see it in a different light, and I think we could at least enjoy ourselves. But let me at least pick the bone that I have to pick, and that is what I hate the most about this and why this movie I couldn't want to see less, which is, where's Ash Ketchum? Where's the character that has or wants to catch them all? This is the whole thing. Where is Pikachu? And you don't give me this bullshit of, well, we had I'm talking about Pikachu. Where is Pikachu and Ash? The relationship between those two characters, the dynamic that exists between them, is literally what made the Pokemon animated series successful. It's what made it the greatest IP today. Their relationship is what made them and that Pikachu unique from Ryan Reynolds' Pikachu or any other Pikachu. And we got none of that. We got nothing that we knew but little Easter egg things of oh yeah, isn't that cool? And it just did not, as a fan, as someone who went in 1996 or 98, when the original first Pokemon movie came out, who went and seen that in theaters. As that kid, I hated this movie. And the idea that somehow, even after it flopping both critically and financially, the idea that this is still somehow in active development, eat ass, Hollywood. This is the problem. This is why real, actual movies can't get bankrolled and backed and get real funding. It's because we would rather waste money making something nobody wants to see. And That's what you're going to get with this. I'm sure there's people out there that disagree, that love Detective Pikachu and want a sequel. Good. I'm honestly happy that people enjoy it, and I'm sure that there's lots of kids and new people that it's introduced to the world of Pokemon, and for that, we thank you. However, I hate this movie, and I'm an OG fan, and that's probably why. This IP is the world's biggest IP, and it's literally from my childhood. Like in the height of me being a child, this became what it is. So it's very hard. I'm always going to judge it harshly, is what I'm saying. I also believe that first Pokemon animated movie, which is like a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes, is the definitive, in my personal opinion, the greatest animated movie that's ever played in American theaters. And I stand by that. I really do. And if you go watch it, and when you get done crying, you tell me it's not that. You know, it was real, and I've seen it when I was a kid, and it touched me. And to see this Detective Pikachu movie fail to deliver in any way the childhood experience that I had. And all they really wanted to do was cash in on me and cash in at the fact that, well, we know you got money now, so you'll go out and see something that we attach the name Pokemon and Pikachu to.
And Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, and of course, the hook, line, and sinker, Ryan fucking Reynolds,
my man,
Deadpool himself, is gonna play Deadpool Chew. I mean, come on. It was baffling. I was excited for it. I was just hoping for the best. I was even like giving it the benefit of the doubt all the way to the end. I'm like, we're gonna get a post-credit scene where we find out that Ash is here, and we're gonna get, and then we never got anything. There was no mention of Ash. There wasn't even a hat like in the dirt that someone found that maybe it was years ago, or like a baby that was born, and they're like, well, he'll be the greatest. I don't know, but give me something. I mean, that's all these things do now, is just give us these things we want, right? That's what they're all doing. They give us Patrick Stewart back as, this. They give us Logan, or Hugh Jackman back as Logan. They give us all we want. They fan service the shit out of us. And then you give me the first live action Pokemon movie and do nothing for the fans.
Right.
The true fans. You do nothing other than to go, look how pretty we can make Pokemon. Look how beautiful and realistic we can make Pokemon look. Which, again, I'm not going to sit here and deny. It was definitely the best looking Pokemon movie that probably will ever exist, because I'm going to say it right now before I pass it over to you, Trevor. This movie will not be made.
I hope not.
But you're hearing this. Detective Pikachu 2, Trevor. What are your thoughts?
I have many, many, many thoughts. Almost a PhD dissertation about the Detective Pikachu movie, but I won't go into all of them. I'll just go into a few. My thing about the Detective Pikachu movie is it is such a weird bubble of confusing choices. It's like you get there, and as we talked about, this is the world's biggest IP, and what made it popular, as you said, is the Ash Ketchum thing. And if not that, well, then something from the games. You go to a gym, you fight the leaders, you go through that story.
It's at least it's a rhythm to it. There's a cadence that we know, and there was none of that.
More than that,
the lead dude, he didn't want to catch one.
Right. And the city they lived in couldn't even catch them. They couldn't even battle. The only battles they could do were underground illegal battles.
Right.
So you're telling me,
which goes against everything.
Yes. The whole point is exactly. So you're telling me the thing that I came here to see, which is Pokemon battle other Pokemon, is illegal in your universe. And I'm doing something wrong.
The thing that your main character was destined to do. The reason we watched it for 14 fucking seasons was because that's what he did. He went gym to gym, kicking ass,
Right.
and taking names
And badges.
and trying to catch them all.
Yes.
And we start this movie with a dude who doesn't even want a Pokemon. How do you live in a world with Pokemon and we're focusing on the one dude probably that exists in that world that's like, nah, this ain't for me, bro.
Right.
I don't want a cool ass companion that could also protect
we are
me,
all
save my
dreaming of.
life. I mean, if you were having a heart attack, Pikachu would be like, bro, got you. You know, there's
bruh.
so much. You could travel with them.
Yeah.
How about a fucking private jet? You want one of those? You
Just
dumb
get
mother.
Salamence, bro. Let's
Right,
go.
get a Dragonite, get
Right.
on his neck, and fly
Have a
where you
good-ass
want.
time.
Right? Tell him to wait by the beach.
Yes.
you don't even gotta like it. But I mean, Jesus Christ, again, it just feels weird to think that in that world, everyone must want a Pokemon, Trevor. Everyone.
And they pick the one guy.
But we are going to focus our camera on the one guy that doesn't even want one,
Right.
man. And again, and I get what they were trying to do. And let's make it meta. Let's make it like, oh, now it's outlaw because we realize it's bad to battle him. And I almost get that to an extent. But again, if you would have gave me this movie four movies down the line and said, hey, this is after the trilogy of Ash Ketchum.
Right.
I'd have been like, oh,
You're getting
this
me
is
right,
awesome.
Ruth.
And
Yeah.
it would have been awesome.
Right.
It really would have.
with a
It
good
would have been
script,
like,
hopefully.
whoa, this is after Ash and after he, like there's fallen statues of him.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that.
You do something crazy with that, for sure.
Then you got me.
in.
I'm on board.
I'm in.
But give me Ash Ketchum.
Give me the fucking story that
Give me
I wanted
Pikachu.
first. Exactly.
I mean, again, that relationship. Do you remember in that first Indigo, right? With that relationship, the
That's what it's all about.
dynamic. Like, I mean, Pikachu fucking hated Ash.
Right.
And he's so different, bro. The thing about that Ash's Pikachu is that he is so different than Pokemon. He doesn't want to be in a ball. He doesn't want to treat it like a Pokemon. He doesn't want to be trained. He doesn't want to be all of that stuff. He wants to be loved and seen like we see dogs. And when Ash gives him that, he becomes the most powerful goddamn He beats Alakazams. He beats Blastoises. He beats whatever the hell he wants. You know why? Because the most important thing was love. The love, the relationship between those two characters. No other Pokemon would die for their fucking trainer. Where Pikachu, bro, you got me fucked up.
Right.
I will die for this dude twice
Yeah.
in a row.
Yeah.
Don't play with me. Where the other things were doing what they were told. And just that itself is what drew us in as children to be like, whoa, that Pikachu's the one I want. I don't want the fucking other ones. I want the one that's gonna be my best friend.
Yeah.
That's like treating me. He wants to be treated like my equal. Don't put me in a ball, bro. What the fuck? I'm a person.
Yeah.
I'm
chilling.
And so, I mean, you could see I have a lot of, you know,
me too,
like
me
I said,
too.
I'm going to take my chance to rant because, man, it really is. I mean, this is not just the world's biggest IP. We love Marvel. We love DC. We love Star Wars. We love all those things. But to be completely honest, this may be also my favorite IP, man.
Yeah.
That Pokemon movie originally, like I said, that first one, I stand by. It's the greatest animated movie I've ever seen.
I own all of the DSs because of it.
Right, and the way it touched me. I mean, I still play the red and blue and shit, and crystal and shit. I mean,
Game Boy Advance is just for that.
we still buy booster packs of Pokemon cards and all of those things. I'm 30-something years old, man, and that's not going away. No. I will be 52 buying whatever booster packs come out next. So
27 sure is
so
looking
in that
cool.
time, please, can you just give me what I want?
Just
one
time, actual Pokemon
just
movie.
Give me, you know, they made that remake of the original movie that we also watched.
Just
I mean, even that, right? Yeah,
come on.
Just, I mean, I would literally watch it shot for shot.
Yeah.
Like literally word for word. Nothing could be different.
Give that
and
shit
I would
the
be
Watchmen
like,
treatment.
yes.
This is it. This
Sequel.
is a masterpiece.
Let's talk about the sequel.
Right.
But instead, we're talking about Detective Pikachu. But I'll let you finish off. Say whatever you need to say.
Oh yeah, it's just like, well, the it's so removed. It's so strange. It's such a strange choice to do. You know, it's like you said as well. Like, I mean, if you would have done it a couple miles down the road here, you got a franchise. I'd love to see like a weird, even like a Detective Pikachu series. Something like that, I would have loved it. But the fact that you did all of these things and you took it so far out of the regular realm, and you took it so far out of everything that we loved about it, it is really a very good example of kind of what's wrong with Hollywood today. Is they see something
ticking boxes
that's making a lot of money, and they're like, well,
who does everyone love right now that we could
Ryan
use to
Reynolds.
play Pikachu? Oh, Ryan Reynolds. There we go. Like who did it was
Right.
It all felt box checking,
Yeah,
bro.
right,
Like,
yeah.
and that's bad.
And this is just so, and when you do that, it loses its soul.
Or like
you know?
the villain, the Mewtwo villain in that movie.
Yeah. Ugh. Ugh.
I mean,
So
it's not
boring.
right. Yeah, I mean, and then think of Mewtwo from. I mean,
That's an all-time
it's like,
great villain.
Yeah, it's right. He's Darth Vader level, bro.
Right,
He's
right.
literally one of the greatest villains ever.
Yeah.
and you. The first Pokemon movie made their movie about him.
Right.
It wasn't even Ash and Pokemon's or and Pikachu's movie. It starts
Right.
with Mewtwo.
Mewtwo.
It's
For
all
like
his
20 minutes.
movie.
Like-
Yes, it's his story because his character is so goddamn compelling, and they knew
Right.
it. They knew, damn, dude, we have no choice but to lead with our Vader.
Right.
Like, this is gonna be Vader's
start
story.
it out.
You know,
Yeah.
right? And it worked. And how do you have a character like that and then do it the way they do it in Detective Pikachu? I mean, that's not even the main. The main villain of the movie is a fucking Ditto.
Yeah. That's a real. That's turning into a human the whole time.
Right. Which is, come on. There's so many problems with it.
It's just so like none of it makes any sense. I mean, it's just like it is just like that. It's just they didn't know the story at all. They didn't want to do the research, so they
Right.
just ticked the boxes, fucking made CGI, and you know.
Right.
And to answer finally, then do we want a fucking second one? No, bro. Just stop. There are so many good Pokemon fan fictions out there. Go pick one. You know, one with Ash. Shit. And the thing is like you could have maybe even not done Ash, but they then took it outside of not having Ash and Pikachu. But then they took it out of even being able to have gyms, even being able to have battles. You can't have battles. It's just walking around with them. So the whole thing of it every part of that movie is so abundantly apparent that nobody actually ever watched the series or played the damn game even.
Right.
You know?
That's
So
the
it's
thing
like-
is if I would rather just watch a 2-hour YouTube video of a dude opening Pokemon card packs than to watch your Pokemon movie that you spent $400 million on or whatever, 200 million or whatever it is, that's a problem because dude spent like $58 on the booster pack. so yeah, but I mean, that's how I feel sometimes. It's like, I mean, there's more intrigue in watching those booster packs be open because at least, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, guys, you're hearing this. I've ranted on long enough. I probably sound like a moron, but, you know, I'm passionate about the old Pikachu. So what are you guys' thoughts? Detective Pikachu 2? Detective Hell to the No? I mean, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we're going to jump into our third main topic today. Our third main topic today is this. And yes, I did label this topic Bad Boys 4 Still Slappening. Of course, right? You know, there was no other way to do it. So we had that Bad Boys 3 movie, you know, 2019, I believe, or somewhere around there. And it was okay. It wasn't a terrible movie, but it wasn't great. And there was like whispers then that they were already kind of planning on doing Bad Boys 4. And it looks like that has now kind of been confirmed. And we have this article over here from The Wrap that looks like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are back with the Batgirl directors for Bad Boys 4. So let's read a little bit of this. Smith and Lawrence announced their reunion on their respective social media platforms through a video in which Smith hinted at the next film in the franchise by playing Diddy, Murphy Lee, and Nelly's Shake Your Tail Feather, which appeared in Bad Boys 2. Smith then hops out of the car to meet up with Lawrence as the cast makes his claim, "It's about that time." The sequel, which is untitled, is currently in early pre-production. According to Sony Pictures, the directors for the Bad Boys for Life movie and the now, of course, scrap Batgirl movie will return to direct the script. It looks like they will all be reprising their roles, and of course, Martin Lawrence and the Slap Man himself will be reprising his role. I'm just joking. I love Will Smith to death. I'm just trying to throw on to his problems like everyone else. Most recently, let's see. You know what? We don't need to read much anymore of this article. The point is, Bad Boys 4 is happening, or again, slappening. This is a little bit surprising. Don't forget, almost everyone dropped Will Smith, and he had all those issues. Apple wasn't wanting to release Emancipation and shit just because of the slap. Again, I believe we live in a world where you do 1,000 things good and one bad, and all we remember is the bad, of course. Will Smith's a good dude, and he deserves to, whatever you want to call it, have a second chance or whatever the hell. I mean, he's not Jeffrey Epstein. He's fucking Will Smith. So let's give him a shot. And, I can't honestly think of a better franchise or film for him to kind of get back into and kind of loosen up. I mean, these movies aren't serious. I mean, they have their serious moments, but they're more fun, comedy, loosey-goosey. What's that word where we make up our own? No. Where when we're acting and we make our own lines up. What's that called again? Yeah. Lots of improv going on. And so, and those kind of sets, Martin Lawrence, I'm betting that gets him, feeling, like I said, a little more loosey-goosey and getting back into this world of, being Will Smith and us respecting him and, caring about him like we always did before. So, Trevor, you're hearing this. I know you've only seen Bad Boys 3, I believe, Bad Boys for Life. That's right. What are your thoughts on a potential Bad Boys 4?
Well, I mean, yeah, sure. Let's get it. I mean, there's nothing in any way offensive or annoying about any of those Bad Boys movies. I can't really speak for the other two. I know a lot of people like them, but the third one, I liked it. I enjoyed it. I saw it in theaters. It was very funny movie. And I agree. I think it's a very good way for Will Smith to get back in. I mean, it was a ridiculous thing he did, but again, dude's done a lot of good too. So
right. Well, my problem is that I've done about 6 to 8 ridiculous things today.
Right.
But luckily for me, everyone wasn't here to see it happen. Right. But yeah, right. And that's kind of my point is we all fucking do ridiculous things, right? We're just, but I'll tell you this, we all don't do as great of things as Will Smith.
And even amongst all the other terrible people in Hollywood, the fact that dude is wasn't that much trouble just because he I mean, I don't think violence is the right answer, but, someone insulted his wife, in a bar. You can definitely get punched for that. Again, I'm not saying that's okay, but,
that's a good point, because if this was that situation, we'd all be like, yeah, you go hard, Will Smith. But because it was such a...
It was in that white tux.
It was a classy,
affair,
this is not a place where, people told me all the time, I've always struggled with anger issues, and people used to tell me a lot, there's a time and a place.
Yes.
And I think that's where it is. And see, and that's the thing. Is I think you're right, is if this is at a bar at 2 a.m. and some dude's like, fuck your bald wife. And we've seen video of Will Smith slap, it'd be the opposite. We'd be like, yeah, that's right. Don't you fuck with Will Smith.
That's my boy Ali.
Right. No. So he hurt that dude.
Right. So, I as far as that goes, I think it seems very, very much that the world's pretty willing to forgive him for that. And, it's a pretty good one. It's a proven franchise. You know, he knows like if people like this character, even if the story gets a little dumb or whatever. Their chemistry is so dang good that it'll take you through whatever. So you know, it is a really good. It's light work. You know,
Yeah,
something to get you back into the swing.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think this would be great for that. But guys, you guys are hearing this. What do you guys think of the idea of Bad Boys 4? Are you excited for it? Do you not want to see another one? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we're going to move into our fourth and our final main topic today. And our fourth and final main topic today is this. So we had somebody comment in on the channel the other day about, because we were talking about our wants for Antman in the what I'm calling the Quantumanium of Madness. And, you know, what I said I wanted was a good movie. And someone kind of called me out on it. I was like, hey, what's that mean, you know? And, you know, I thought everyone would understand what I meant, but I get now that maybe, you know, I should clarify on that. So I do want to clarify and say what I mean by a good movie is, you know, remember, Trevor, when we went and during the height of all this, we went and seen everything. And there was almost this feeling that we felt, that all of the audience always felt, and every time we went to see another one, it was almost this underlying like rumble that was happening, and it was just bubbling and bubbling and bubbling. And then, I mean, again, I do this show today because of those things, because I remember remember when we went and seen Black Panther, and at the end, everyone stood up and gave a round of applause. You remember that?
Yeah.
I remember that moment being like, I remember looking around at you, and I looked at you and I was like, dude, take this in.
Yeah.
Like, this is a moment, bro. Take this in and don't you fucking forget it. Like, I had been to lots of movies, and no movie had ever made everyone in the theater experience so much the same thing that they all felt the need at the same time to react the same way.
Yes,
and I thought that was beautiful. And it just kept progressing until Endgame, right?
Yeah.
I remember we were in Endgame. There's this, one of my greatest moments as a film fan. We're in Endgame. It's very quiet. Thanos is fighting Cap, and he's kind of kicking his ass. He's breaking the shield up. And then he whoops Cap up a little bit, and he starts fighting Thor. He's about to, like, cut Thor or do something. And then we see the hammer fly into someone's hand, but we don't know who it is. And then it cuts, and of course, it's none other than our amazing Steve Rogers wielding Mjolnir with lightning, and he raises up his head. And when he does, some dude in the very front of the theater said what we all felt inside of us, which was, fuck yeah! And when he did, we roared like we were at a sports event and LeBron James had just won it all.
Right.
It was amazing because we all felt that feeling. Mjolnir was surging through us. We could feel electricity in that goddamn theater, and I'm telling you, if you've ever been to a big concert or sporting event and you could feel that rumble of people's feet getting up and down and jumping from excitement, dude, you could feel it like the whole third act. For a whole hour, dude. People were and something would happen. It was like someone, again, like, bam, Steph Curry just hit a 3. It was such an event that I had never experienced. And to clarify, I want that back, man. I want that. I realized that movies had evolved into that, and that the greatest thing movies could do in a theater experience was that. It really is. I mean, I love The Lighthouse and The Shining and all these other movies, Climax, but they do not deliver. Movies, I can assure you, are experiential events. Today, they for sure are, especially in a theater. And that is the prime example. So that's what I want. I want us all to be able to have that community of, like, we're all feeling the same thing, and we're all, like I said, it just felt like a cauldron that was slowly, like we were a stew that was just getting better and better and stewing up day by day until one day we ate it and it was the best stew we ever had. And then after that, we've been eating kind of leftover stew for the last few weeks, and it's like
exactly what's
it's done the opposite, right? It was like getting better as we were stewing it. But now, as it's gotten
now we
every week,
Endgame.
every week that goes by, it gets a week older.
Like,
but yet we still come and go,
you good?
and we're just waiting for the day that a new pot gets back on and a new stew gets to brewing.
There was some
and
fucking
that,
tomato soup,
my
baby.
friends, is what I think that I meant by a good movie. That being said, what I want to talk about specifically is we had someone comment in and say that they were upset with the idea even that Kang is this new Thanos, this new big bad, and that Antman, who is just a mere human, is going to somehow go toe-to-toe with Kang in this film. And, I didn't really give it any thought until he said it, and as I read it, I started to think, there's some truth to that. And I often said that about Tony in the suit. He squares off with Thanos in Infinity War. And I often felt the same with that. Like, Tony's just a dude, bro. He shouldn't even be there. Like, there's nothing super about that dude. And the same thing can be said for Ant-Man, for sure. I mean, there's nothing super about him except the suit.
Right.
And that he's Paul Rudd, which may be the world's greatest superpower, of course.
Of course, yeah.
But
any door.
But yeah, I'm right along with you in thinking that it is a little weird that he's gonna go toe to toe with Kang. However, I would say this: we don't know how that ends yet, and that could end with he goes toe to toe with Kang, and Kang murders him,
literally,
easily, and the movie ends with, look what's coming. I mean, he just killed Ant-Man, and he killed the Wasp, and he killed Hank Pym.
Be a hell of a stew to start.
Right. Right. There you go. And so I think that it's real hard to say that until we see it, because I think he's trying to go toe to toe, but I don't think he is. I don't think at any moment in this movie, first of all, this movie doesn't end with Kang losing. Nope. Right? Nope. There's an Avengers Kang Dynasty coming. So we know how this ends. We've seen the shots. Just before you showed up to the studio, I'd seen a clip where Kang's got him, and like Scott Lang looks like he's bleeding out of every fucking spot of his face, and Kang's like leans in his ear and he's like, you really thought you could win, and Ant-Man's like, no, I knew I could never win. We just both have to lose. And really that is kind of a perfect example of what I mean by this, right? Is that he never really thought he could win. He knew he couldn't win. And that's Scott Lang, man. It's so true to the character, because he's a fucking bank heist guy. He's a thief, man. And that kind of thing, you just never know.
Well, he's a thief with an absolute heart of gold.
True.
And he will take on, and it's in his character, he will take on, even at the great expense of his own problems.
That's right.
Abuse people. He took on that business, which is why he ended up in jail.
This ends with, Cassie Lang becoming some sort of, I bet she lives on. And maybe she takes on a mantle of some sort later on, who knows. But I think this movie may end, sadly, with some serious consequences. I know, I don't want to say that I know anything, so let me take that back. I don't know anything, but I'm confident that Hank Pym for sure does not survive this movie. But from what I've seen, like in those moments, I think that moment where Ant-Man says, I knew I could never win. I just knew we both have to lose. I think he thinks that they're going to both lose. Right. And he's going to do the thing. He's going to pull the ultimate switch that makes them both lose, and it's all going to blow up. And when all the smoke clears, Kang's just going to be standing there laughing and looking at him as a splattered ant on the ground going, you lose. Yeah. I win. And I think that's what comes of this. So I understand the thought of quickly, if we just said, one-on-one, Thanos versus Iron Man. It's like, this isn't even a question. Yeah. And so I get that. But again, I think this ends with Ant-Man thinking that they're both going to die. but not realizing how truly powerful Kang the Conqueror truly is. And I think that that's the aha moment for all of us, right? At the end, it's like, damn, Ant-Man had to sacrifice himself to kill himself in Kang. And again, the smoke clears, we see Kang, and that's our moment of realizing, damn, this dude's not going to be...
Right.
I mean, because who knows what he's going to do that. Maybe he explodes the whole quantum realm, and even that doesn't kill him. You know, maybe that just pushes him into our realm.
Right.
Like,
Jesus.
you know what I mean? Maybe it causes worse consequences. I think that Scott Lang thinks they're both going to lose, but I think... he just loses. I sadly, as much as I love Paul Rudd and this character, I don't think they make it out of this. But Trevor, what is your thoughts on these two characters going toe to toe? Should there be a cause for concern of the fact that Ant-Man, just this guy in a suit, is even trying to go toe to toe with Kang the Conqueror?
Well, I mean, Scott should be worried, for sure. For sure.
He just needs to get his daughter out of there, man.
Yeah, seriously.
And at some point, I think he's going to realize that.
Right.
It's going to be one of those Heimdall with Hulk situations. You get out of here. We're all about to die.
Right. I think that hopefully that we do with that kind of storytelling and that kind of idea is exactly what the kind of risk that Marvel needs to be making.
Sounds
right
compelling,
now.
doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Because
that sure does.
Stuff like that starts to set up some serious consequences. You know, that starts to now, because these other ones, they've just kind of felt inconsequential.
And serious stakes. Yes. We need to know that. Remember when we thought that?
Right.
Remember when Yondu died?
Right.
And we still talk about it today. It is the most impactful thing death-wise that had ever happened to us still in the MCU. Even with Infinity War and Endgame, nothing felt like that because it was happening, bro. Yeah. It was done.
Right.
He's gone. It's just too late.
And that carried a lot of the characters' motivations and choices. And if you started off the phase like that, killing and destroying one of just a beloved guy, it would really set the tone for this dude is a
perfect example of that is look how it set the tone for the Guardians Christmas series.
Yeah.
We get that the Yondu, we get him back, and everything about him now is like our dad.
Yeah.
We see him so different now, right? It's so hard to see him any other way. I mean, and just to even have him back in a moment for animation, it makes you want to cry. Right. You're like, fuck, dude, this character is so good.
My dad been
He's Mary Poppins, y'all. Come on. And it created new ability to tell more compelling stories.
Right.
Because we know now how truly good of a fucking dude he is because he sacrificed his life for this kid.
Right.
The kid that he's like, we're not having Christmas. Right?
Yeah.
It made this whole new thing. And you're so right. It can lead to so much more better storytelling by having these truly compelling, but what let me out of this is stakes. There must also be stakes. Yes. I want consequences for these things.
Otherwise, it's just visual noise.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, I think that this will be, I think this will be a tough movie to watch. I think that it will be very disturbing to see just honestly, from the years and what we know of that character, honestly, if we're in that world, put ourselves in there, to see him all, to see Kang have him by the back, by the throat from the back, and to see him bleeding all out and his Ant-Man helmet smashed on the ground so he can't use that, and Kang telling him, you thought you could win. Just seeing him in that position is like, damn, this is rough.
Yeah.
This is Scott Lang, bro.
Yeah, right.
You don't do that to Scott Lang.
No, sir.
You do that to fucking Hulk or something, man.
Right.
Get off our dude,
He's
man.
just chilling.
He's got to do Hot Ones next week.
That's
man.
right, bro. He's the cool uncle of the cinematic universe, bro.
Right.
Leave him be.
So to see him in a dire situation, even in a trailer like that, really shows you that it's gonna hurt. Probably we're gonna see him hurt.
That's what they need. They need that
like they did to Peter.
Yes, they need that added impact now, and they need it badly for the whole cinematic universe. And if you were to do the ballsy decision and kill that dude off, in his own movie, then from there on, it's like in wrestling. John Cena one time he got absolutely squashed by Brock Lesnar, and the reason they did that, did it make Cena look really bad for a second? Yes, but now forever, Brock Lesnar looks like he's a monster because he did something and he showed that this might happen. So if you kill this man and you destroy this beautiful soul that everyone loves but isn't actually super consequential to the thing,
right,
then you say, hey man, your people that you think right now are going to be safe and happy in this thing, they may not make it.
See, and that's why that beginning of Infinity War is still so compelling, right? Is because immediately it's like, oh, you like Loki? Dead. Oh, you like Heimdall? Dead. Oh, you love Hulk? Think he can kick anyone's ass? Just got his ass beat. Knocked the hell out.
Right.
I mean, in the meeting. Oh, you like Thor? You think he could handle this situation? No. Nobody can.
Right.
Everyone's fucking off the table in this damn movie. We don't care.
Nor all of Asgard.
And it just started.
Right.
Like, that was the opening thing. It hadn't even said Infinity War yet. And it's like,
cold open.
I remember we were all looking at each other like, dude, this is gonna suck serious ass, man.
Yes.
Like, what did we get ourselves into?
We're not ready.
But again, I think you do way different storytelling when you have real consequences, you have real stakes, and I think that's key to this, man. Like I said, because again, we do have these certain relationships with these guys, and obviously they're not playing these characters forever, so it would be the way to do it. I think would be to kill him off. Not to mention that Scott Lang, bro, saved everyone. He came back from the quantum realm to fucking show them that time travel could be happening, so they could go back there and save everyone. Yeah. So I mean, you're talking about the guy, that saved the world, man, that brought all of our heroes back too. So everyone kind of owes a debt to him too, in a way, especially the guys that got snapped. So I think that's compelling too, right? If you're Strange and you're obviously not T'Challa, but whoever, Spider-Man, if you're these characters and you're like, well, shit, Scott Lang's the dude that brought me back, and then you find out some dude just beat him to death.
Right.
You might be like,
and his family.
You know what? I'm gonna f this Kang dude up. Like, this Kang dude's gonna get hurt, and it would be a lot of them because he saved them all.
Yeah.
So you'd have a lot of people that would. It would really be a kickoff, right? To really get it in the hands of the offense to start making a move. What is this gonna do? Like, where's the repercussions?
The defense has just been all blitzing them 100% of the time, and they can't even get out of the fucking pocket.
But now it gives us a chance to really, like I said, I think tell some real story, and I hope that they do that with this. I really do. Too. I'm tired of.
And we don't need a touchdown. We just need a first down.
I'm tired of all the little sprinkled cameo shit that they think that I want that's gonna be enough to but here's John Krasinski for a few minutes. Will that do it? No, man. No. I
want a story. I don't want to make a story 2 years ago.
I don't want a fucking Kit Kat bar. This isn't give me a break. Give me a break. Break me off a piece of that damn Kit Kat bar. I want a meal, bro. Give me courses. I want a salad. Start me off with some soup. I'll have some bread. And then you know what? At some point, a fillet should come out here with some potatoes next to it, man. And it shouldn't just be a Kit Kat bar movie, man. Stop giving me a break. Man, I don't want. Again, every once in a blue moon, I think that can work. It really works. It's because you've been having so many good meals,
right?
I could use it's been quite the opposite now. Again, it used to be they were feeling us up, and at some point we're like, oh my god. But now we're starving. Right. Like, dude, you've been giving us Kit Kats for 10 films.
You want another Kit Kat?
10 series.
Right. Please don't
give me some
another
food,
Kit Kat.
man.
Give me some dang Beyond
I need
Meat.
sustenance.
Please put a protein shake on the side.
I want
before
Whole
I die.
Foods. But guys, you guys are hear this. What are you guys' thoughts? Do you think there's a bit of an issue here with the idea that Scott Lang could even go toe to toe with Kang in this upcoming Ant-Man 3 movie? Do you think it matters at all? Do you think this ends with Scott Lang not breathing? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we are all out of main topics today, and it looks like we haven't had any chats going, so nothing to chat about. But yeah, just quick show, little few things. Like I said, we want to get out of the way because all the James Gunn and DC stuff that we're talking about yesterday took up. I mean, I had to edit like 9 videos for that, so. Damn. Yeah, but they're all up. Go check them out. And I have been joined today by my friend and colleague and co-host, Trevor Farney. Trevor, where can people find you at?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram a bit, and that's at Mad Making Mind Productions.
Sweet. And you guys know where to find me at. It's at Keaton Toothman. There's my handle right there on Twitter. Go follow me over there. Make sure you're subscribed, like the channel, hit that thumbs up button for me. And make sure you guys come back here. We will be back here in the studio with Lucas. Should be around 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. And of course, I will see you guys then.